Welcome guys to round 4 of the SARCO Championship races. We're back in the GTO class Ford Mustang Cobra TA. We're at Laguna Seac for 2 timed races, a 15-minute and a 25-minute, with a 25-minute race having that 1 lap tire, which definitely does mix up the front of the pack there. We're down to 5 drivers, currently only separated by 10 points, with 3 races to go. Sit back and enjoy the highlights reel of both the first and the second races. Starting from the back of the grid, we have in row number 7 Toki on his own. He'll be in car number 9, starting in 13th place. The 6th row is occupied by the Cape Town boys, occupying 11th and 12th. Ash was able to out-qualify Hamid this time round. I'm sure he'll be looking to get a better place in the race as well. On the 5th row is occupied by Dylan and Roy. Roy's in 10th place, out qualifying the Cape Town boys as well as Toki, moving himself up from last week's race. Dylan unfortunately not able to get his rhythm in the qualifying, and he finds himself 9th on the grid. Row number 4 is occupied by the Turtle Racing driver of Jacques in car number 11, and our Scottish Internationals teammate Craig, he finds himself in 7th place in car number 26. In row number 3 and in 6th place is Yaku in car number 23, driving for Tarmac Monkeys. 5th place goes to Andrew from the Green Mumbers. He out-qualifies his partner Dylan by 4 places. Having a look at the second row, car number 27 is Ross, teammate to Craig. He's in 4th place on the grid and looking for a great result. 3rd place is Bruno in car number 9, teammate to Jakes, currently driving for Ghost Racing. Finally, the first row, we have Marius in 2nd place in car number 98, driving for White Knuckle Racing. Our double winner from last week puts himself 2nd, and on pole position, car number 8 is Jakes, returning to his winning ways. 3 red lights, green, and away they go. Bruno's had an absolute blinder of a start as he leapfrogs past both Marius and Jakes off the line. Through turn 1 they go. Hard on the brakes. Oh, Andrew's going backwards. He's clipped Ross on the outside there. We're definitely going to have to go back and see what happened there. So having a look at this replay, we can see that Craig has moved to the outside of the track. Cone's flying, and all of a sudden he's made this wild move back on the inside. It must have been lag, lifting Andrew's rear around. Little sandwich between the 2 drivers there, and that sent Andrew going into turn number 2 backwards. So trackside again as we watch the 2 Ghost Racing drivers of Bruno in front in car number 9, followed by Jakes in car number 8 in 2nd place, then Marius. Into turn number 6 they go. A very fast 6th corner up the hill, approaching turn number 7 into the corkscrew of turn 8 and 8A. Great shot of the backfire there. Front wheels up in the air as Bruno drops down that corkscrew. You can see the very wild front steering, generally the outcome of using a controller. But even though Bruno's got a controller, he's still extremely quick under these circumstances. Back to the front of the field with the 2 Ghost drivers. In Bruno still leading the race by Jakes right up behind him, and Marius in 3rd place. Through turn number 6 they go, 135 kilometers through that corner. You want to make sure you hit all your apex. Then hard on the brakes here into turn number 7, then down into the corkscrew. Once again they go. Both right hand side wheels of that car lifting as they go through that corkscrew, making it extremely exciting as they land on the bottom there. The battle for 6th, 7th, 8th is still very much underway. Unfortunately, Roy has run a bit wide. He came out of turn number 11, got along the grass, and unfortunately he's now out of that battle. There's a shot of Yaku from the Tarmac Monkeys as he goes past to start his third lap. Having a quick look at the positions, Bruno is currently in first, Jake's in second, Morris is in third, Craig fourth, Yaku's in fifth, Dylan sixth, Ross seventh, Andrew eighth, Roy ninth, Hamid is in 10th, Jacques 11th, Ash in 12th, and Toki in 13th position. The battle for first is still very much on the way. Little lock up. What a ramp as Jakes goes into the corkscrew. He gets all four wheels off the ground. I'm assuming it was a little bit of lag. If not, I'll take my hat off to you, sir. Great close-up shot of Ross there, the Scottish International, currently in 7th place, chasing down Dylan, who's in 6th. Dylan unfortunately took some damage going into that second corner. There was a little bit of lag and he had Craig go through him and unfortunately damaged the front and rear. Great line there by Ross, getting as wide as he can off that apex to tighten up into the second part of that corner and to get that power on a lot quicker and in a straight line. We're still on lap number 4 and Ross is still trying to find that opportunity to get Dylan. Little lock up by Dylan as he enters the corkscrew and Yaku spun it around in the corkscrew. Ross had to go into evasive action there. It was hard on the brakes and we see Andrew in the background hitting Yaku. It really has not been Andrew's race once again. Just to give you a little perspective of what Andrew would have seen coming into the corkscrew, he would not have known that Yaku was there. Yaku would not have seen Andrew coming, and you can just see the impact there. Oh, extremely violent and doing a lot of damage to both cars. On board with Craig as they go around the last corner. Marius currently in 3rd place, Craig's in 4th, begins his 5th lap. Morris has found his rhythm. He's starting to just pull a little bit of a gap away from Craig, while behind him both Ross and Dylan are putting on a charge. So here we are on the bumper cam with our current leader Bruno. Having a look at the positions, Bruno is currently in first with Jakes very much behind him in 2nd place. Morris is still in 3rd, Craig's in 4th, Dylan's in 5th. Well, Bruno's run a little bit wide. Will that allow Jakes to go past? Yes, it does. Jakes has got the better line going up the hill, and that will now change the leaders to Jakes in 1st, Bruno in 2nd, Morris 3rd, Craig's in 4th, Dylan in 5th, Ross in 6th, Roy 7th, Jacques 8th, Andrew unfortunately moving down after another impact with Yaku. Yaku's down in 10th, Hamid in 11th, Ash 12th, and Toki in 13th place. The battle for 5th with Dylan in 5th place. Ross in 2nd is still very much on the way. Ross has been fighting with Dylan for the last 3 laps. Dylan's still fighting that damage, and all he's been doing is just coming on the power a lot later than he should be, slowing up Ross on the exit and then just trying to get that drag down the straight and just buy himself some time going into those next corners. Very, very defensive driving by Dylan. I'm sure Ross is extremely irritated, has not been able to get past him yet. We'll just have to see how this battle unfolds. Chasing Ross as they go through turn number 6, chasing down Dylan. He's put the car on the dirt, put too much power, that's oversteered the car, thrown it off the track, and unfortunately for Ross, he wasn't close enough to take advantage of that misfortune from Dylan. Just give you a sense of that elevation. It is quite not for the faint-hearted as you drop down there. I'd love to experience what it would actually be like in a real car. Flames firing. Dylan's run wide once again. Hard on the brakes, a little lock up by Dylan, and a little pause from the power. Once again, Dylan will get that drive out of that last corner to set himself up for turn number 1. Through turn number 1 he goes on the brakes. A little lock up there, but slowing Ross way down. Then just at that right moment we'll get that power on again and just slowly but surely just edge himself further and further away, making it extremely difficult for Ross to find that place, to get a move, and just make one very frustrated Ross. Here at the end of lap number 8, Ross is very late on the brakes. Dylan's just managed to get out of the way there. Little lock up by Ross, trying that undercut. taking way too much dirt. Little nudge there on the rear of Dylan. Dylan manages to hold it. Ross's car was unfortunately unsettled and Dylan was able to get away once again. Further down the field we have a little chase of Jacques for Turtle Racing. He's got his eye on Roy. Fortunately he's made a little bit of a hash of that corner, going very wide there. That would definitely not have helped his cause to try and shave off some of those valuable split seconds to start making progress to catch up to Roy. Lap number 9, we have a look at our race leader Jakes, who started from pole position, managed to overtake Bruno, we saw in the background there. Bruno had a little bit of a wide approach into one of the corners, took him off the track and allowed Jakes to go past. So having a look at the positions, Jakes is currently in first, Bruno's in second, followed by Morris in third, Craig's in fourth, Dylan is still in fifth with Ross, you can see they're 0.6 seconds behind him. Andrew's then in 7th place, Roy's in 8th, Yaku is in 9th place, Jacques in 10th, Ash 11th, Khamit's in 12th and Toki in 13th place. Coming to the end of lap number 10, Ross still has not found a way past Dylan. Oh, big lock up from the inside front there from Dylan. You can see once again he's been late on the power. Ross had to brake check himself there, otherwise would have run into the back of Dylan. Past the start finish line to begin lap number 11. Oh, big lock up there from Dylan. He's run wide, leaving that door wide open for Ross. His patience has finally paid off and Ross has now moved himself up into 5th position. Lap number 12, approaching the corkscrew, we've got Jacques chasing Yaku. Into turn 8 he goes. Oh, Yaku's got the rear round. Oh, unfortunately Jacques has gone straight into the back of Yaku. I don't think that was the fault of any one of those drivers. Yaku unfortunately losing the back there and spinning him around. Here we watch Jakes coming around the last corner for that last time. He'll cross the line to win with Bruno in 2nd, Morris in 3rd, Craig in 4th, Ross in 5th, Dylan in 6th, Andrews in 7th, Jacques will finish in 8th, Yaku will finish in 9th, Roy 10th, Khamit 11th, Ash 12th and Toki in 13th. Race number 2 in a 25-minute race. There's a 1 lap flying lap qualifier and this definitely shakes it up in the front. Enjoy it. So in row number 7 by himself is currently Jacques in car number 11. He qualifies 13th on the grid. Row 6 we see the Toki, he goes and he splits the Cape Town boys. Khamit is currently in 12th place and Toki car number 22, he puts himself in 11th. Row number 5 in 10th place in car number 45 from the Cape Town boys we've got Ash. A surprising 9th place for driver Marius in car number 98. He only manages to qualify in 9th. Row number 4 is the likes of Roy and Yaku. 8th place is Roy in car number 33. A great qualifying considering his previous race. Yaku car number 23 for Tarmac Monkeys. He is in 7th. Row number 3 is an all green members affair. 6th place is Dylan in car number 79 and his partner in crime Andrew in 5th place in car number 78. Let's just hope that this race goes better. Row number 2 is a split event. 4th place goes to Bruno in car number 9 and he is out qualified by Ross in car number 27, our Scottish international. And the first row you can see car number 26, the split of the ghost races. Craig car number 26 is in 2nd place and our race winner from race number 1, Jakes car number 8, he finds his rhythm and puts himself back into pole. Bruno has had an absolute blinder of a start once again from 4th place. He jumps all the drivers in front of him, puts himself into first through turn number 1. Hard on the brakes, little lock up there for Bruno as we see Ross having a little contact there with Craig, pushing Craig wide. Everyone seems to be through okay for now. As they go to turn number 3, there's contact there by Craig and Andrew. We'll have to come back to that just to see what had happened. Oh, we don't see Andrew in that shot. There's definitely something that's happened there. Oh, Bruno's gone off into turn number 4. Having a look at this replay, just to have a look what happened, we can see Craig definitely getting a little stiff arm there with Andrew. That's put Andrew on the dirt, put on the brakes, and sent his little racing stripes down off the track. And just adding insult to injury, unfortunately Hamid did not see Andrew coming back onto the track. Hamid collected Andrew, and that unfortunately ended the race for Andrew. We catch up to the front of the field with Bruno in first, Jake's in second, Ross in third as they brake hard into the corkscrew. Little bouncing around there, not quite sure what happened there, but nevertheless, oh, we see Craig, he's taken a little bit of a farming route there coming down that corkscrew. Bruno's in first, Jake's in second, and Ross right up there in third place, followed by Craig in fourth. Well, Craig ran a little bit wide, Morris too, he ran a little bit wide there. We saw him at the corner of the shot there, extremely close here as they head down the main straight. Will Jakes have enough power? Will he have a look on the inside as he goes through turn number 1? Hard on the brakes into 2. Bruno will take the inside line, having to force Jakes to go a lot wider around the outside, and that will definitely shut that move and not allow Jakes to take the position this time round. Further down the field we have Yaku chasing Dylan, who's currently in 5th place. Yaku did not have a great race in the first one. He unfortunately ended very much way down the field, and that was due to a good couple of contacts throughout the race. But he's definitely putting in a much better performance here, hoping to move up the field here and take that place away from Dylan. Start of the 2 Cape drivers as they now head down into the corkscrew. Hamid in car number 45, or front wheels off the ground. Well, Ash has taken a little bit too much of that dirt coming down the corkscrew. That's definitely slowed him up and allowed his partner to just move ever so further away. This is one of the very unfortunate things about online racing, is that if there is a little bit of lag, you'll see here as Morris and Craig head down the corkscrew, Craig has obviously lagged now and shown that he was right in front of Morris. That's put Morris right into the wall there coming out of that corkscrew. And all that's done is allowed Dylan and Yaku to get past Marius. Here we chase Yaku hard on the heels of Dylan as they go into the last corner. Dylan's pulled the same move that he had been pulling on Ross in the previous race. A very slow exit out of the last lap to give himself a little bit of a delay off the accelerator from Yaku. Oh, that car was definitely unstable. That'll lock up on the inside front there for Dylan as it goes around turn number 2 into turn number 3. Flames are flying everywhere. Yaku's really pushing hard to try and find a gap here into turn number 4. The 2 drivers, their times fairly close at the moment here on lap number 4. Oh, Yaku must have been a little bit of lag as they now approach turn number 6. Oh, Dylan's gone a little bit too wide. That slowed him down. Yaku has very unfortunately has followed him and not being able to take advantage of Dylan's mistake. Into the corkscrew they go. Big lock up again there by Dylan. He's really been struggling with the balance of the car. Been locking up those front wheels all afternoon. Very different lines by the 2 drivers. Dylan taking a much wider approach. Ooh, Yaku too early on the power. That little bump on the inside of the corner there just caught him unawares and threw him off the track and just helped Dylan get away ever so slightly. Our race leader Jakes from Ghost Racing is currently in 1st place. Bruno's in 2nd, Craig's in 3rd, Ross is in 2nd, Dylan's in 5th, Yaku 6th, Mario 7th, Jacques is in 8th, Roy in 9th, Hamid in 10th, ahead of his partner Ash in 11th, Toki in 12th, and Andrew's taken an early shower. Here we see a shot of Roy as he crosses line to begin his 7th lap. Looks like he's taken a little bit of damage. Must really be struggling with that car at this moment in time. Ooh, big moment there by Roy, but he managed to hold that inside line, keep the tyre that was, oh Hamid, you've also now run wide. It's definitely difficult here at the back. Here we have a look at lap number 4, coming into turn number 10. The two partners of Craig and Ross turning in together, bit of contact, and unfortunately Ross is forced to run wide and he goes straight off into the dirt and losing that place to Craig. Here we see lap number 6 with Yaku chasing Dylan, who's chasing Ross. They turn into turn number 6. Both Ross and Dylan run wide, and an easy overtake for Yaku to move himself up into 5th place. A couple of corners later, we see Ross is coming to the last corner, taken too much wheel spin that spun him around, and then unfortunately allowed the likes of Dylan and Marius to move themselves ahead of him. There was 3 places within 1 corner. We catch up with our race leader Jake's currently on lap number 7. He's in 1st place, followed by Bruno. Craig's in 3rd, Yaku's in 4th, Dylan's in 5th, Marius in 6th, Ross all the way down into 7th place, having just lost 3 places in that last corner. Jacques up to 8th place, Roy's in 9th, Ash is in 10th, Hamid 11th, and Toki is in 12th. So I didn't believe in the race myself. We see Yaku going into the corkscrew. He's got the rear a little bit loose. Dylan has found the line. He's put that power on. He's overtaken Yaku going through the corkscrew. Marius was also right there to pounce, and he too has moved himself up another place. Unfortunately, Yaku losing 2 positions in the matter of 2 corners. Here we chase Marius in 5th, who's on the hunt for Dylan, who's currently in 4th. Little lock up for Dylan as he goes into the corkscrew. He definitely got that wrong. Will manage to catch that rear coming through that turn number 8A. Dylan's left enough space allowing Marius to go through, but Dylan would have held that inside line for turn number 10. Into 11, Dylan earlier on the brakes just to try and slow Marius down and get that power on as late as possible, not giving Marius the jump on Dylan coming down that main straight. Under the bridge they go to begin lap number 9. Through turn 1 they go. Dylan early on the brakes once again, not wanting to lock up those fronts. He wants to get that grip down, ease on that power, keeping the car under control. Looks like Marius got a little bit of a spin there. Just a remembrance of those black lines that we saw where Andrew unfortunately was spun around, having braked on the dirt, and unfortunately having had to retire after contact with Hamid when they both joined the track. Shot of our 10th place Ross, who unfortunately has had a terrible race this one round, having started on the grid in 4th place. As I mentioned, he is down in 10th place and about to be lapped by our race leader Jakes. Into turn number 10 Ross goes. Oh, he's got that power on a little bit too soon. That damage on the vehicle is obviously unstable. That, oh, it's put it into the back of the wall there. That's definitely going to add rear downforce damage. You can see his teammate Craig coming around that last corner now. This definitely has not been a race that Ross wants to remember anytime soon. In shot now, Jacques on number 11, driving for Turtle Racing. As we see Dylan having gone around there, he's currently in 4th. Yaku in 5th, Marius in 6th, and Jacques in 7th. These cars have definitely got a lot closer together in these last couple of laps. It's definitely going to be an interesting race to the end. 4th place Dylan as he goes up the Rahul straight into turn number 7. Hard on the brakes and the corkscrew. There's turn number 8. And there's turn number 8A. Followed by Yaku, Marius, and then Jacques. Having a look at the positions on lap number 11. Jakes is in 1st, Bruno's in 2nd, Craig's in 3rd, Dylan's in 4th, Yaku's in 5th, Marius is in 6th, Jacques 7th, Roy's in 8th, Ash is in 9th, Ross is in 10th, Hamid 11th, and Toki is retired. Here we follow Jacques currently in 7th place as he's starting to apply pressure on Marius. Marius definitely struggling with the car, off their contact with Craig and hitting that inside wall coming out of the corkscrew. Or we see Yaku picking up a little bit of dust. Marius has followed him going out there, and that's made a very easy pass for Jacques up as he goes into turn number 7 to take that position. Oh, Yaku, big lock up there before the corkscrew. He seems to have come out there okay. No harm done. Jacques going through turn number 9, setting himself up for 10. Here we see a shot of Craig, who's been fairly quiet other than a little contact with his partner early on this race. Oh, we see Ash has obviously lost the rear there, and Ross has collected him coming through that corner. That turn number 3 has definitely cost a whole lot of drivers this afternoon. Here we're on board with Jacques as he now puts the pressure on Yaku on lap number 12 as they exit out of 4, preparing for turn number 5. The power's gone on. Unfortunately, Jacques has lost the rear. That's put him into the dirt, and you can watch Marius move up a place and Jacques moves down to 7th. We're on board with Marius on lap number 18 as he's chasing down Yaku going through turn number 5. Yaku's run a little bit wide, allowing Marius to take the place. Will he have enough power up this hill? Unfortunately, Marius, he backs out, goes for the wide on. Will he try that cut back? He does, but he unfortunately loses the rear. No! Lucky there, Marius. Trackside now as we watch our race leader, Jakes, coming through the last turn for the last time to take a double victory here at Laguna Seac. He'll finish in 1st, Bruno will cross the line in 2nd, Craig will do 3rd, Dylan a resounding 4th, Yaku 5th, Marius 6th, even through an extremely damaged car. Jacques will cross the line in 7th, Roy a respectable 8th, Ross all the way down in 9 after having qualified 4th. Ash and Hamid, the Cape Town boys, will finish 10th and 11th, with Torquay and Andrew having retired. Right guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you did like the highlights of that race, please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in 3 weeks time when we return in the V8 Supercars.